morning, everyone. How's everybody doing today? Good, good. All right. So we have K through 5th grade?
K through 5 for Macon County R-4, and then K through 4.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Well, my name is Keenan West, and I am from Cincinnati, Ohio, and I get to travel around the country talking to students about a topic that causes some harm for some students. How many know by a show of hands what the word bullying means? Yeah, pretty much everybody. Okay, all right, we all know what that means. Well, we want to talk today about bullying, but we want to do it in a way where I give you some answers on how to make sure that bullying doesn't happen at your schools. But we're going to do it in somewhat of a different way. I'm going to sing a song for you. I'm going to teach you the song, and I'm going to show you a music video. Can I show you a music video today? Yeah. Is that cool? Okay. The music video is actually with some of my friends back home who are regular students like yourselves, and we went in and we made a video in about a day and a half, and we were just showing in the video what it would look like to come alongside our friends who were being bullied and help them out. I'll show you that here in a second. But let me sing the song for you. Can I sing the song for you real quick? Yeah. Okay, here's the first verse. When the going gets tough and the tough get gone and you feel like you are all alone, when you're in trouble, can't see your way, and you can't make it another day, through the rain and through the fire, even in your toughest day, I'll be right there by your side. I'll be with you all the way, through the ups and through the downs. I'll be here until the end. Keep in mind, no matter what, through it all you've got a friend. Never ever, never ever, never ever leave you alone. Never ever, never ever, never ever leave you alone. All right, that's the Never Ever song. You guys like that a little bit? Is that okay? Cool. All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Can I teach you a little part that I want you to sing and help me out with? So that when you watch the video, you'll know what my friends are singing. It's very simple, very easy. When you hear me say never ever, you quickly and loudly say never ever back. Can we do that? All right. Never ever, never ever, never ever leave you alone. Never ever, never ever, never ever leave you alone. Never ever, never ever. Oh, you guys got to give yourselves a round of applause. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, pretty good. Pretty good. That's awesome. So let me do this. Let me explain to you what that song means. Because sometimes, if you're like me, you can be in the car and you can hear a song come on the radio and you can be bobbing your head like, yeah, that sounds good. I like that song. But then you may not know what the lyrics are. And sometimes the lyrics aren't always super positive. Sometimes they're not really good lyrics. So let me teach you what you're singing and what we're talking about in this song so that you know when you see the video what's going on. What that song says is, if I have a friend who has been bullied, or maybe they're having a bad day, or maybe they're having a bad week, and I see them sad or I see them broken down, what that song says is, I'm making a promise today that I will never leave them alone. I'll never leave their side. And that's what we wanted to focus on in this video. What I've learned about bullying is that some students who've been bullied and they've been hurt or they've been mistreated, how they feel in that moment is like no one is around them to help them out. No one wants to come to their side and be friends with them. And so what I want us to do today is I want us to think about being friends with someone who was broken down or hurt or sad or bullied. And I want us to do that because of this reason right here. If we were being bullied ourselves, or if you were having a bad day, or you were hurt, or someone was mistreating you or said something mean to you and it was happening over and over again, you would want someone to come alongside you to help you out. Is that right? Yeah, you would want someone to be your friend. You wouldn't want to be walking through school like sad and down and out and people to see that you're sad and no one ever came over to help you out. You would want someone to help you out, right? Yeah. So when you watch this video, what you're going to see are two things. You're going to see some students being really mean to students. They're going to be bullying them. But the cool thing that you're going to see some other students who were nice and they came alongside to help out the victims or the people who were being bullied. Let me show you this music video right now. Can we dim the lights just a little bit and then we'll play the music video and then we'll talk about it a little bit more.
When the going gets tough and the tough get gone and you feel like you are all alone, when you're in trouble, can't see your way and you can't make it another day. Through the rain and through the fire, even in your toughest day, I'll be right here by your side. Till the end, keep in mind no matter what, through it all you've got a friend. Never ever leave you alone. Never ever leave you alone. When it feels like you're in the darkest days and the pain it won't go away, don't you give up and don't give in. I'm right here till the very end. Through the rain and through the fire, even in your toughest day, I'll be right here by your side. I'll be with you all the way, through the ups and through the downs. I'll be here until the end. Keep in mind no matter what, through it all you've got a friend. Never ever leave you alone. Never ever leave you alone.
No matter who the victim, hate is the engine, fear is the petrol.
Stand up and get yourself in.
A worldwide movement from here to Zimbabwe.
Call me Sinatra, cause I do it my way.
Open up your eardrums.
Prop up your windows.
No matter what, I'll be here from the intro.
You know I got your back when your back hits the fan.
Through until the end, your wingman.
Boom.
Through the rain and through the fire, even in your toughest day, I'll be right here by your side. I'll be with you all the way, through the ups and through the downs. I'll be here until the end. Keep in mind no matter what, through it all you've got a friend. Never ever leave you alone. Never ever leave you alone.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. That was videotaped back home with some of my friends, regular students like yourselves. I promise to show you that video again at the end of the assembly. Is that okay? Is that cool? Yeah. Okay, we'll show it to you one more time, and we'll look at it a little bit differently when we see it again. But in that video, what we wanted to show you was that if our friends at school are having a bad day, if they've been bullied or in some way someone has mistreated them and been mean to them, if someone else comes alongside and helps them out, we have the power to make their day a better day. We have the power to help them out. As a matter of fact, I'll share this statistic, and some of our older students kind of know what stats are. In 57% of the times, or in over half the times, when bullying happens, if one other person would just stand up and say something and make sure that the problem stops, the problem would usually stop in less than about 10 seconds. Isn't that interesting? So all of the times that maybe we've been bullied or someone mistreated us, if another person would have just come up and said, hey, wait, stop. Don't be mean to that person. Don't say that. Don't do that anymore. The problem would stop really, really fast. And that person would not be hurt anymore. And that's what we wanted to show in that video. Now, I'm going to share with you 5 easy things that you can do at your school to make sure bullying stops and that everyone is having a really good school year. And you don't have to remember everything today. There's a lot of information. You don't have to remember everything today. I'm going to leave them with your teachers, and they can share them with you a little bit later. The first thing I want you to think about is a word or 2 words, pay attention. On the count of 3, can we all say pay attention? 1, 2, 3. Pay attention. Pay attention. Very, very, very important. When I was in school, when I was your age, if I saw someone being bullied or mistreated, or maybe if I saw like someone not getting along with another person or shoving or pushing or maybe saying mean things, you know what I did? I did not pay attention. I made a big mistake. I looked the other way and I acted like I didn't see it. And when I did that, I wasn't being a nice person myself. I should have paid attention. I should have looked up and saw, wait, something's going wrong here. Another person's being mistreated. Someone is being hurt right here. As a matter of fact, if I were honest with you, I can remember a story when I was in the 5th grade. And when I was in the 5th grade, I was somewhat of a popular person. I knew a lot of people, but there was a friend of mine, or really he wasn't my friend, unfortunately. His name was Robert. And no one ever played with Robert. Robert was very, very smart, but he wasn't very popular, and no one ever hung out with Robert. And I can remember my 5th grade teacher bringing me over to him and saying, hey, listen, Keenan, I know that you have a lot of friends. I know a lot of people like you, but notice Robert never has anyone to hang out with him. Why don't you go be his friend? And I thought, wow, it's a great idea. Robert doesn't have any friends. I have a lot of friends. And that day, I made friends with Robert, and my teacher helped me make friends with Robert, and I was able to help Robert come along and be friends with other people. But I almost didn't make friends with Robert because I wasn't paying attention. I would see every day that he didn't have any friends, but I wasn't thinking, man, what if that were me? I never stopped to think, no one ever sits at lunch with Robert. No one ever invites Robert to play on the playground. And when I was doing that, I wasn't paying attention. And so what I want you to do today is when you leave this assembly, I want you to kind of look around your classroom. I want you to be thinking about your friends, and I want you to pay attention. And I want you to think, if there's someone around me that doesn't have any friends, I'm going to be their friend. If there's someone around me that's having a bad day, or I see them crying or hurting, I'm going to go over to them, maybe even give them a hug, let them know I'm never going to leave you alone. Remember what that song says, never ever, never ever, never ever leave you alone. That's exactly what we're talking about today. We're talking about making sure we don't leave our friends alone. The second thing that I want you to think about today is a word called, or 2 words we call, build them up. On the count of 3, say build them up, or 3 words. Build them up. 1, 2, 3. Build them up. Build them up. What that means is this. If you see someone at your school that's having a bad day, they're being bullied, or maybe for some of our older students, maybe you hear something, maybe a bad rumor, or another person at school, someone else was being mean to them, and you see them sad or you see them broken down, this is what I want you to do. When you see that happen, I want you to, one, pay attention, like we first said, but I want you to quickly, very quickly, go over to that person and build them up. I want you to think of what you can say or what you can do to lift that person up or to build them up. Because this is what we found out. In most bullying situations, when someone's been broken down and they're being bullied or they're being hurt, and no one is ever recognizing their problem, and no one ever goes over to say anything to build them up or to encourage them, that makes it even worse. That makes it even more troublesome for them. And so what we have to do is we have to do a little thing that we call step out of the crowd. Sometimes you can have all of your friends doing the exact same thing, but if you see that one of your other friends is left out, or they're broken down, or they're being bullied, and you hear something in your head or in your heart that says, oh, I got something I can do. I got something I can say to help that person. All you have to do is step out of the crowd and go over to that person and say something kind, something nice to build them up. On the count of three, one more time, say build them up. 1, 2, 3. Build them up. Very important. All right, the third one is easy, but this one is a little tough to do. And this one takes what we'll call courage. How many know what the word courage means? Okay, pretty much everyone. For today, let's say the word courage means not being afraid to do something. Can we say that? Not being afraid to do something? All right, good. So courage is not being afraid to do something. This third one here takes a lot of courage. And this one is clue 'em in. On the count of three, say clue 'em in. 1, 2, 3. Clue 'em in. Clue 'em in. Very important. Because clue 'em in is what we have to do to maybe someone at our school that's acting out or treating another person mean. We have to clue them in, or we have to let them know that they're being mean to another person. In most cases, when students are being mean to another student, they don't even realize they're being a bully, or they don't even know that they're being a bully. And what it takes is for someone around them to go over to them in a nice, calm, peaceful way and clue them in. You know, sometimes we can be playing around at school, or we can be on the playground, or we can be outside, or maybe even on the bus, and we can be joking around with one another, and we can be saying or doing things, and sometimes we'll take things too far. Sometimes we'll make a comment, or we'll make something funny happen, or we'll mistreat someone, and because everyone else sees what happens and they're laughing, we think it's okay. But sometimes it's not okay, because the person that's being made fun of is actually really hurt. And what we have to do in those times is we have to find the courage to go over to that person that was maybe acting out in a mean way and say something like this, Hey, listen, we're going to continue to be friends. You're my buddy. We're going to stay friends. But what you just said or what you just did was too far. It was mean. And I think you need to apologize. Very simple. Everyone understands clue 'em in? All right, let's say clue 'em in on 3. 1, 2, 3. Clue 'em in. Okay. The fourth one is how we handle a bullying situation. We all know what bullying is. We know it's when someone's mean to another person over and over and over again. But when we have the courage to maybe leave this assembly and you're starting to think, yeah, Keenan, I've got some ideas. I know someone right now who's been a bully, and I know they're being mean. And you get the courage to stand up and do something. But if you decide to do it and respond in a mean way, man, you've missed it. And you're being just as bad as the bully. So we have a solution. We have a thing that we call, on the Secret Mean Stinks tour, we call this Find Your Inner Peacemaker. Can you say that on 3? 1, 2, 3.
Find your inner peacemaker.
Find your inner peacemaker is real simple. It says this: when you get courage to stand up step out of the crowd, you're paying attention, you've clued the bully in, you've said something nice to the person who was hurt, and you're trying to tell your friends how to stand up, and you may want to go over and to say something to the person who's acting out of mean behavior. We don't want you to get so much courage where you feel like you have to fight back, or you have to be violent, or you have to be mean. We don't want you to do that. We want you to stay calm. We want you to stay collected. We want you to stay nice. And we want you to respond, or we want you to say something in a nice, calm way. Even if you're talking to the person that was mean. Even if you're talking to the person who was acting out in mean behavior. And that may be tough to do because you may be upset. And you may be thinking, yeah, that's mean. Why did you do that? And I'm going to stand up for what's right. I'm going to fight back. Well, hold up. Slow down. Stay calm. Because if you don't, that problem will do just like what a snowball does. We've seen a lot of snow right now. And if you ever made a snowball and kind of rolled it and rolled it and rolled it, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what that problem can do if we don't learn how to respond in a nice way. And so Find Your Inner Peacemaker says, when you want to stand up and say something, relax, calm down, and do it in a nonviolent, peaceful way. Do we understand that? Okay, find your inner peacemaker. In every situation or every time in the music video, we saw someone being bullied. We also saw another person come alongside and help that other person out who was being bullied. But they didn't do any mean thing. We'll watch the video again and you'll notice every time a nice person came in to help a person who was hurt or broken down, they did it in a calm, peaceful, nonviolent way. They found their inner peacemaker. All right, and the last one is very, very important, and it's what you guys are already doing. It's stand together. On the count of three, say stand together. 1, 2, 3.
Stand together.
Stand together means this. If you see someone at your school who's doing something really good, say, for instance, you see someone at your school who's being a good student that day, or say you see someone at your school who's being nice and respectful to teachers, or you see someone at your school who has stood up and said something against bullying, and they want to stand up and do what's right, this is what you should do. You should join forces, or you should become that person's friend. Because you're thinking, hey, that's a great idea. That's something that I would do. And what I need to let that person know who's being nice and acting out in kind behavior, I want to let them know that I'm their friend. And when you do that, other students will see that you're being nice and your friend around you is being nice, and they'll want to join forces with you too. And then one day you'll look up and you'll see, wow, everybody at our school, maybe we're not perfect, but for the most part, everyone at our school, we come alongside each other and we help them out. We help each other out. And what's really cool about being at schools like where you guys go to school, they're a little smaller and everyone knows each other. Sometimes I'm at a school and there's like thousands of people in the room and not everyone even knows each other. But with you guys, everyone knows each other. You see each other every day, and that makes you even more friends than maybe some other schools. And so if you see someone at your school and you know they're having a good day and you know they're standing up for what's right, they're being respectful to teachers, they're being respectful to other students and themselves, go over to those people. And that's the people that you want to make your friends. The other thing I like about what you've already done and what stand together means, stand together, and we use another word with stand together, and it's show your courage. When I was making that music video, it was just a little melody in my head at first. It was like, it was just a little melody. I was driving in my car and I would be singing that. And then I thought one day, man, you could put some nice positive lyrics to that song. And I thought of a couple verses. The second verse goes like this. When it feels like you're in the darkest days and your pain, it won't go away. Don't you give up and don't give in. I'm right here to the very end. And I put that song with a bunch of music, a few friends of mine that play instruments. We made a music video with that song, and we showed you the music video. But what we did there, we were sharing our positive courage. And this is how that works. When you guys make signs like that, you made some beautiful, awesome signs. Stand up to bullies, be kind, be awesome, be amazing, be fantastic. I like that. Love, smile. We've got some other signs over here. Mean stops here, be kind. All of these signs put a stop to bullying. All of these signs are your way of standing up together. It's your way of sharing your courage. And when you have those signs in your school or wherever you create those signs, other people will come to your school, or your fellow students will see those signs. And one day maybe they may be feeling like they're having a bad day, or maybe they're on their way to maybe being mean to someone. And they see that sign and it encourages them to make a better choice. And that's exactly what we did. We made that song, we made a music video, we put it up on YouTube, and people and students all over the country started to see that video. And they were like, man, that encourages me. And you all can do the same thing. When you stand up for one another and you find your courage to write out really cool posters like that, or maybe some of you in here like to sing, and maybe you know how to maybe write a song. Or maybe some of you know how to write a short story or write a poem or draw a picture. When you're doing those things and you mix it with something positive, it allows you to encourage other people. Now, let me show you the music video one more time. And this time, can we set the music video to show again? Okay, take your time. This time, when you see the music video, I want you to focus in on all the good or all the kind things. Very similar to your posters, be kind. All of the times in the video where you see someone being kind, that's what I want you to pay attention to. Are you ready to do that? Okay, we're gonna have the video come up here in a second, and then we'll finish up.
When the going gets tough and the tough get gone, and you feel like you are all alone, when you're in trouble, can't see your way, and you can't make it another day. Through the rain and through the fire, even in your toughest day, I'll be right here by your side. Till the end, keep in mind no matter what, through it all you've got a friend. Never ever leave you alone. Never ever leave you alone. When it feels like you're in the darkest days, and the pain it won't go away. Don't you give up, and don't give in. I'm right here till the very end. Through the rain and through the fire, even in your toughest day, I'll be right here by your side. I'll be with you all the way, through the ups and through the downs. I'll be here until the end. Keep in mind no matter what, through it all you've got a friend. Never ever leave you alone. Never ever leave you
No matter who the victim, hate is the engine, fear is the petrol.
Sit up and get yourself in.
A worldwide movement from here to Zimbabwe.
Call me Sinatra, cause I do it my way.
Open up your eardrums.
Prop up your windows.
No matter what, I'll be here from the intro.
You know I got your back when your back hits the fan.
Through until the end, your wingman.
Boom.
Through the rain and through the fire, even in your toughest day, I'll be right here by your side. I'll be with you all the way, through the ups and through the downs. I'll be here until the end. Keep in mind, no matter what, through it all you've got a friend. Never ever leave you alone. Never ever leave you alone.
That time, I really tried to pay attention to all of the positive or all of the nice things in there. So we saw some bullying in there, but most importantly, we saw some other students being really kind to other students. Did you guys see that time? Yeah. That's really cool. And that's what I want you guys to think about. You are already thinking that way when you made these signs and these posters, and that's really cool. But when I leave here today, I want you all to think about what you can do individually, each one of you, or as a whole group, what you can do to make sure the students at your school are not bullied. And if you think, wait, there's a few students that I know that are alone sometimes. I don't want them to be alone anymore. There's a few students I can think of right now that never have friends to sit with at lunch. They're always by themselves. I'm gonna go over and be their friends. Or maybe you can think, man, I know someone who's being bullied right now. And I'm gonna go over and say something to them and I'm gonna help them out. And I wanna leave this last important thing with you. If you've been listening today and you're thinking, man, I hear what Keenan said, I watched the video, and based off of his definition of bullying, when someone's mistreated and it happens over and over and over again, I feel like I'm being bullied. If you feel like today you're being bullied, I want you to know one thing. You have teachers, counselors, principals, and parents, and even other friends around you that want to help you. And so if you feel like that and that makes you sad, I don't want you to hold that inside. I want you to share that information with your teachers and your counselors and your principals so that they can get you help. Is that cool? Is that understandable? Is that good? Okay. Listen, you all have been an amazing group to talk to. I love coming to towns like this, small towns where we can fit everyone in like this small little area because we listen so well and you're all so attentive. Thank you so much for making the signs. They're beautiful, they're awesome, they're exactly what I talk about. Those words are the same exact words I use all across the country, and I love that you guys already get it. So, do me a favor, give yourselves, for being such a good group to talk to and so calm and so quiet, give yourselves a round of applause. Yes, you're awesome. Definitely, definitely. I would like to thank you for welcoming me to your school and your county. Thank you for having me here today. You can watch that video on YouTube. If your parents let you go onto YouTube, you can watch that video at any other time. And you can get more information. I'll leave some more information with your teachers about what we talked about today. So thank you so much for having me. You guys were awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. You're welcome. You're welcome. All right. Hi, buddy.
The bus is on the way, so we'll have to wait till.
Can we take a couple pictures?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Can we take a couple pictures? Yeah. Really quick? All right, cool, cool. You know what? I got to be honest with you. Let's see. Let's do this. I like to take a couple fun pictures because whenever I have assemblies, I like to have a good time. So I like to take 2 pictures. And when I take these pictures, what I do sometimes is I'll post them like on my Facebook page or I'll share them with my friends at Mean Stinks. I like to take, if it's okay with you guys, I'd like to take 2 pictures. One is what I call like wild and crazy picture. You have to be careful though, not to like hurt anyone next to you. But it's kind of like on the count of 3, it's like, ah, big smile, wild and crazy. Can we do that on the count of 3? Okay, the second picture is what I like to call smart swag, where you're just kind of like, yeah, I'm smart, I'm paying attention, very much almost like her. Or you can kind of do one of these, yeah, I'm gonna study for the next, yeah, just like that. I'm gonna study for the next test, I'm gonna get an A on it, yeah. Let's do wild and crazy swag first, can we do that? So you have to stay seated, you gotta stay calm, you can kind of like, blah, on the count of 3, just like that. He's got it, perfect. On the count of 3, are we ready for wild crazy swag?
Scoot in, try to scoot in as close as you can.
I'll let you take a couple here. So this is wild crazy swag on 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, did we get some crazies in there? Okay, now this one is, we like to have fun and be wild crazy, but this one is, we know how to be respectful. We know how to be smart. We're gonna study for the test. We paid attention in the assembly. So this is kind of like you got your thinking cap on. Like, yeah, I'm cool. Or you can do like one of these thinking things right here. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, smart swag, thinking swag. Yep, we got it. Awesome. All right, thank you guys. You guys were awesome today. Thank you so much.